What if I told you that starving yourself to save your kidneys is actually the reason they aren't healing? Most people treat a kidney diagnosis like a prison sentence, cutting out every bit of meat until their body is too weak to repair itself. But your kidneys aren't just filters. They are living tissues that crave the right building blocks to regenerate. Today, we're breaking the trap of extreme dieting. You'll discover 4 clean proteins that act like fuel for repair, and the one hidden stress hormone that's spiking your creatinine more than food ever could. Stick around, because the way you cook these is the difference between a toxin and a cure. To understand why the right protein is a cure while the wrong one is a toxin, we first have to change how we look at our bodies. Most of us are taught to think of our kidneys as simple mechanical filters, like a kitchen strainer or a piece of cheesecloth. We imagine that if the mesh gets clogged, the only solution is to stop putting things through it. But this is where the misunderstanding begins. In reality, your kidneys are vibrant, living organs. They aren't just passive strainers. They are active, intelligent tissues that breathe, react, and most importantly, possess an incredible capacity to repair themselves if given the right environment. They are the most selfless workers in your body, filtering hundreds of liters of blood every single day, 247, without ever making a sound. In fact, kidneys are so stoic that they often won't even complain or show signs of pain until they are down to their last 15% of functionality. They work in total silence for you, even when they are exhausted. This brings us to the great protein paradox. If you've been diagnosed with kidney issues, you've likely been told to watch your protein. This creates a state of fear. You start to see meat as a poison. But here is the truth. Your body still needs protein to survive. Protein is the fundamental building block for your muscles, your immune system, and even the repair of the kidney tissues themselves. Without it, your body begins to waste away. The problem isn't protein itself, it's the exhaust that protein leaves behind. Think of it like fuel for a car. Low-quality protein is like dirty fuel. It burns inefficiently and leaves behind a thick, toxic smoke called nitrogen waste. When your kidneys are already tired, struggling to clear this smoke is what causes inflammation and further scarring. But when you choose clean proteins, it's like switching to a high-grade, smokeless fuel. These proteins provide all the strength your body needs to rebuild, but they leave behind almost no waste for your kidneys to process. By choosing the right meats, you aren't just dieting, you are finally learning the silent language of your kidneys. You are moving away from a medical obligation and toward a ritual of respect for your body. You are finally giving these silent filters the rest and the raw materials they've been begging for. When we talk about shifting from fear to recovery, the first and most powerful tool in your kitchen is skinless chicken breast. Many people view chicken as just a basic diet food, but for your kidneys, it is a specialized repair kit. The secret lies in what doctors call clean protein. You see, every time you eat protein, your body breaks it down into energy, but it also creates a byproduct called blood urea nitrogen, or BUN. Think of BUN as the exhaust from an engine. If you have kidney disease, your doctor likely monitors this number closely. High BUN levels act like sand in the gears of your kidney's delicate filters, causing them to grind down and inflame. However, studies published in Clinical Nutrition show that when patients switch from red meat to lean poultry like chicken breast, their BUN levels often drop significantly. This is because chicken breast is incredibly efficient. Your body uses almost all of it for muscle and tissue repair, leaving behind very little waste for the kidneys to flush out. It's the difference between burning clean high-grade fuel, and burning coal. But chicken breast does more than just lower waste. It also acts as a shield. It is naturally rich in selenium, a trace mineral that functions like a protective guard for your cells. In the harsh environment of a struggling kidney, oxidative stress is constantly trying to damage healthy tissue. Selenium steps in to neutralize that stress, helping to preserve the kidney function you still have. Furthermore, chicken breast is naturally low in phosphorus. This is vital because when kidneys are weak, phosphorus builds up in the blood, pulling calcium out of your bones and even damaging your heart. By choosing chicken over red meat, you are protecting your skeletal system and your cardiovascular health at the same time. However, you must be careful. The benefits of chicken can be erased in a single meal if you choose processed versions. Chicken nuggets, deli slices, or frozen patties are often injected with phosphate additives and massive amounts of sodium. Sodium raises your blood pressure, which is the leading cause of kidney scarring. Those hidden phosphates in processed meats are absorbed by your body at nearly 100%, putting an immediate, heavy burden on your filters. If it comes in a box or a crinkly bag, it's likely not the clean protein your kidneys are looking for. Moving to our second strategy, let's look at lean turkey. Turkey is often overlooked, but it is a powerhouse for renal health, especially if you are concerned about inflammation. One of the biggest silent threats to kidney patients is uric acid. When you eat meats high in purines, like organ meats or certain red meats, your body creates uric acid as a byproduct. If the kidneys can't filter it fast enough, it forms sharp crystals that can cause gout and irritate the internal lining of the kidneys. Lean turkey is much lower in purines, making it a much softer option for your internal tissues. It provides the high-quality protein needed to prevent muscle wasting, a common problem as we age, without the inflammatory baggage of darker meats. It also contains essential B vitamins, which support red blood cell production. Since kidneys are responsible for the hormone that tells your body to make blood, turkey provides the nutritional support to fight off the fatigue and anemia that often come with kidney struggle. Again, the golden rule is fresh is best. Avoid pre-seasoned turkey breasts or smoked deli meats. These are salt traps that will make your kidneys work twice as hard. By sticking to fresh, lean cuts of chicken and turkey, you are providing your body with the clean building blocks it needs to maintain strength while giving your kidneys the quiet environment they need to rest and repair. Now, we have to talk about a paradox that most people and even some doctors completely overlook. Have you ever wondered why some people follow their kidney diet perfectly, cutting out every forbidden food, yet their creatinine and bun levels still refuse to budge? Or worse, they keep rising? The answer often isn't what's on your plate, but what's happening in your mind. This is the paradox of starvation. When you receive a kidney diagnosis, the natural instinct is fear and restriction. You start cutting everything. You cut out the meat you love, you cut out salt, and eventually you cut out the joy of eating. But here is what the science of behavioral psychology tells us. Extreme restriction leads to cellular starvation and chronic stress. When your body feels like it's in a state of famine because you've restricted your diet too severely, your brain perceives a threat. In response, your adrenal glands pump out a hormone called cortisol. You might know it as the stress hormone. Cortisol is designed to help you survive a crisis, but for a kidney patient, it is a silent destroyer. High levels of cortisol tell your body to tighten your blood vessels, which spikes your blood pressure. And as we've discussed, high blood pressure is like a high-pressure hose hitting a delicate silk filter. It physically shears and destroys the nephrons, the tiny filtering units in your kidneys. So by starving yourself to save your kidneys, you might be accidentally triggering a hormonal flood that causes more damage than a piece of chicken ever could. This is why your kidneys don't need a strict warden. They need an intelligent partner. When you choose the right proteins, like the skinless chicken breast or lean turkey we just talked about, you are doing something deeper than just hitting a nutritional target. You are sending a signal of safety to your brain. You are telling your body, we are nourished. We are not in a crisis. When the brain feels safe, cortisol levels drop. When cortisol drops, your blood vessels can finally relax, allowing blood to flow smoothly and gently through the kidneys. This steady, calm circulation is the only environment where kidney tissue can actually begin to repair itself. It is a difficult cycle to break, especially when you feel the pressure of rising lab results. But remember, your kidneys are living, reacting organs. They feel your stress. If you treat your diet like a prison sentence, your body will react like it's under attack. But when you move away from what can't I eat and focus on how can I nourish my repair, you stop the hormonal damage. You move from a state of survival to a state of healing. So, if you've been feeling exhausted and frustrated by your diet, take a deep breath. It's time to stop suffocating your kidneys with restriction and start supporting them with the clean, safe fuel they've been waiting for. Beyond the fields of land-based poultry, some of the most powerful healing proteins are found deep in the ocean. However, for many kidney patients, seafood feels like a gamble. You hear conflicting stories about mercury, cholesterol, and phosphorus, making it easier to just stay away. But today, we're clearing up that confusion by looking at the gold standard of renal protein, whitefish. When we talk about whitefish, we're referring to varieties like cod, tilapia, haddock, or flounder. If you live in a part of the world where these specific names aren't on the menu, don't worry, the secret isn't in the name, but in the texture. You are looking for fish that is white and flaky. These varieties are naturally low in fat and incredibly easy for your body to break down. This is critical because as we age, or as our health declines, our digestion slows down. Heavier meats stay in the system longer, creating more nitrogen waste. Whitefish, on the other hand, is processed quickly and efficiently, putting significantly less strain on your kidneys' filtering units. But the real magic of whitefish lies in its effect on your blood vessels. Studies in clinical nutrition suggest that the specific type of omega-3 fatty acids found in these fish helps improve endothelial function. This is just a medical way of saying it helps your blood vessel walls stay flexible and relaxed. Since your kidneys depend entirely on a steady, smooth flow of blood to remove toxins, keeping your pipes healthy is just as important as the filter itself. Then there is the most debated item on the list. Fresh shrimp. Many people are told to avoid shrimp because it's high in cholesterol. And while it's true that shrimp has more dietary cholesterol than cod, recent studies have shown that for most people, dietary cholesterol doesn't impact blood levels as much as saturated fats do. Shrimp is virtually fat-free. Think of shrimp as a supplemental protein. It is rich in iodine, which supports your thyroid, the master gland that controls your metabolism and blood circulation. When your thyroid is balanced, your kidneys filter more effectively. Shrimp also contains unique antioxidants that act like microscopic shields, protecting your kidney cells from oxidative damage. The key here is portion control. You don't need a mountain of shrimp. Just a few ounces occasionally can provide nutrients you can't get elsewhere. However, there is a major catch with seafood that can turn these healing foods into salt bombs. Many frozen fish, fillets, and shrimp are treated with a solution called sodium tripolyphosphate. This is used to keep the seafood looking plump and moist, but it is devastating for your kidneys. It's a double hit of sodium and inorganic phosphorus that your body absorbs almost instantly. This can spike your blood pressure and stiffen your arteries in a matter of hours. To keep your bounty from the sea safe, you must choose fresh, unseasoned options. If you're buying frozen, read the label carefully. The only ingredient should be the fish itself. No salt, no preservatives, no flavor enhancers. Now, even with these perfect proteins, there is one final piece of the puzzle. You could choose the best ukga, the cleanest cod, or the freshest shrimp. But if you prepare them using the wrong method, you are still placing your kidneys under fire. Stay with me, because in the next section, I'm going to reveal the hidden art of kitchen reconciliation, the specific way to cook that most people never talk about, which finally allows your kidneys to rest and recover. Everything we've discussed, the clean poultry, the flaky whitefish, the careful portions of shrimp, comes down to this final critical moment: how you prepare them. You could have the highest quality protein in the world, but if you toss it into a deep fryer or coat it in heavy bottled sauces, you are essentially turning a cure back into a toxin. This is what I call the art of kitchen reconciliation. It's the moment where you stop fighting your body and start working with it. Most of us are addicted to convenience. We've been conditioned to reach for the salt shaker or the prepackaged seasoning rub because it's fast and easy. But for a struggling kidney, that extra teaspoon of salt is an immediate slap in the face. It forces the blood pressure to spike and creates an environment where repair is impossible. You don't need to be a world-class chef to save your kidneys. You just need a heart that understands the silent struggle of your internal organs. The safest, most effective way to cook for kidney health is to use moist heat, steaming and poaching. When you steam your fish or poach your chicken breast, you aren't just cooking it. Bonds of protein remain soft and easy for your digestive tract to break down. This means less nitrogen waste is created right from the start. Unlike grilling at high temperatures, which can create inflammatory compounds, moist heat keeps the nutrients intact and the protein gentle for your filters. But what about the flavor? This is where many people give up. But here is the secret. You can replace salt with the power of aromatics and herbs that actually support your health. Instead of sodium, use fresh lemon juice, garlic, ginger, and onion. These ingredients don't just add brightness to your meal, they contain natural compounds that help improve blood flow. If you're worried about potassium in herbs, stick to dried oregano, thyme, or a splash of apple cider vinegar. These provide a deep, complex flavor that satisfies your palate without overloading your mineral levels. Think of these natural flavors as a peace offering to your kidneys. When you move away from processed salts and chemical enhancers, you are finally allowing the inflammation inside your body to settle. This shift in cooking is a powerful form of non-verbal communication with your body. It's an act of respect. Every time you choose to steam rather than fry, every time you reach for a lemon instead of the salt shaker, you are telling your kidneys, I hear you. I see how hard you've been working, and I am here to help. This isn't just about medical compliance anymore. It's a ritual of healing. When your kidneys aren't constantly fighting off sodium and additives, they finally have the energy to use that clean protein to rebuild. You are no longer just a patient following a list of don'ts. You are an active participant in your own recovery.